Hi, this is Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the 2023 Christmas Craft Off collaboration, which has been hosted by Rach from RachandBella Craft. Rachel does one of these. She does collaborations throughout the year, but she always does a huge whammy Christmas time, and this year is no exception. Rach has put together a fabulous collaboration with some amazing crafters, and each day you will get 2 crafters, which is why I'm assuming it's called the Craft Off. Some days there are 3, but as a rule there's 2 for each day. My day is the 28th, and I'm actually creating with Tracy Fox, no pressure. Yeah. Let's just leave that at there. Each creator has got a Santa's to-do list, which is a prompt. Tracy and I will be working with Christmas Junkmail Repurposed. And I laugh when I say I'm crafting against Tracy because she is absolutely incredible. So I was tempted to pull out, but we'll give it a go. As part of the collaboration as well, there is an opportunity to win some amazing giveaway prizes. There's loads of different giveaway prizes here, and then there is 44 additional digital kits from creators across the board. So loads and loads of opportunities to be in with a chance of being entered into the giveaway. You have to have watched each of the videos. It's not a hardship. They are hugely inspirational. So you'll watch each of the videos. You will make sure that you subscribe to each of the channels. You give a like and a thumbs up, and also a comment on each of the videos. All of the videos will be in a playlist which Rach has put together, so for easy access, and I will link all of the information in the description box below. So easy peasy. But yeah, these crafters have put a huge amount of time and effort into this process. So please, just take some time and support their channels and their contribution. I have my little buddy with me from last year. The light has stopped working. I think that's the batteries. But he's going to sit there while we craft, hopefully to give me a bit of inspiration. So we're going to be working with Rachel's kit. Rachel's kit is incredible. And again, the information and the links will be in the box below. But I mean, I've only printed off a couple of pages here that I'm using for different things, which don't really showcase the kit at all. It is absolutely incredible. It's a huge bumper kit. There are loads of different styles and elements, so there is definitely something for everyone. But again, as I said, the information for the kit will be in the description box below. But it really is just so beautiful. So yeah. Okay, I'm going to grab myself and get myself ready, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so my prompt was Junkmail Repurposed, so I'm going to be using a load of junk mail. I'm hopefully going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a journal, but I'm going to use junk mail in different ways to make that journal. So I'm going to take you through the process. I'm going to pop all of this to one side because I don't need that just yet. What I am going to start off with is the cover for my journal. Now, for the cover, I thought about it, and I couldn't decide what I wanted for the cover. I wanted this image, but I couldn't decide how I wanted it to be on the cover. So I ummed and ahed and played with a few different options, and I've decided to go with some vellum. So I've printed this page of the kit onto some vellum. Now vellum can be a little bit temperamental when it's when you're working with it. It can be quite brittle, but with the kit, I'm hoping the kit being printed on it, I'm hoping it gives it a little bit of stability. But I'm going to use this for my cover. but I want a slightly different kind of cover for it. So we're going to start by scrumpling this up. Now, be careful when you scrumple it, and especially careful when you unscrumple it. Is that a word? Because it is brittle still. The printing does give it a little bit more strength, but the last thing we want to do is to rip this. Now, ever being the optimist, I have printed an additional copy just in case I have a bit of a disaster with this one, but I'm going to try to be gentle. Okay, so that is my first fold, and I'm going to do it again. You can do this as many times as you want, but literally just going to get it to a point where you're happy with the texture and the effect that you get. So again, really, really careful when you reopen this. She says, because it will tear if you are not careful. It definitely, I think adding the ink printing on it definitely does help. So I think that's definitely a winner. But like I said, it didn't stop me from printing an extra copy just in case. So what we've got now is a really textured image, which I think looks really cool. I am going to just straighten that out a little bit, flatten that rather a little bit. You're not flattening all the texture out of it. You still get that creased look and the different texture and stuff. So you still get all of that. That's okay. We're not going to have a disaster with that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little or a few sprinkles of gold ink because it's Christmas and we want to add some sprinkles. So I'm going to give it a good shake. And again, if this goes Pete Tong, then I have got another one that I can call on. And I literally just want some gold sprinkles on here just to add a little bit of Christmas glimmer. I'm hoping they will dry quite quickly. This stuff separates terrible. It's not my favourite, but it is what I have. And you can go as heavy-handed or not as you like. I think I'm happy with that. So, although I do have a gold hand now. So that is my textured piece there with my gold sprinkles. Now these gold sprinkles will dry in no time at all. So I'm just going to get ready. I'm wearing gold sprinkles as well now. I'm just going to get ready the next step, which is I'm going to be using some, this is gesso, not gesso, sorry, this is Mod Podge, just plain Mod Podge. I'm going to be using that and I'm going to be applying a coat of that over here. I don't know whether I'm going to use a rubber thing or a brush at the moment. So I will have a little go at that. But I do just want these sprinkles to fully dry before I start that process. This is literally, sorry, excuse me, just the cover. So I'm gonna give that a little bit of a hand. And I don't want to heat it too much because the paper will definitely start to buckle. And that's not quite dry enough for me yet. So I'm going to put that to one side to let it dry fully while we focus on the cover section. Okay, so I've got a load of junk mail here. Get it all here. I'm going to try and use a lot of it. These are things that come in the post for you to return mails with, and I don't use them as a rule. This one came to me like this with a piece of paper inside, so technically it is still junk mail because it has been used, and I'm going to go with this one because I think I want to use the window envelope in this. So we are going to start by, I'm not really sure how we're going to start actually. I'm going to see if I can just open this. No, it's not going to work like that. That's okay. I want to use these as my covers, so I'm going to need to have it pretty secure. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to seal it, and then I'm going to open it back up, which probably doesn't make a lot of sense. And this video is probably going to be flipping from one thing to another just purely because of allowing things to dry and that sort of thing. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on there, and I am going to seal that up. There's a little bit of excess glue there, but that's going to be covered, so I'm not worried about that. I'm then going to take off the, I think I'm going to take off the bottom piece just to open it up. And I'm also going to take off a tiny slither from the top just to open it up. So we've got this kind of effect going on here. And then I'm going to take a tiny slither off the side here so that I now have an envelope which opens, or should open, should open like that. And that is going to be our cover. It's going to be a tall, slim, covered journal. So, but I am going to use all of these, so I'm just going to pop these to one side for a moment. Now, while we're waiting for our cover to fully dry, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this. Just looking for my papers. Okay, and what I've got is some music sheets that I've printed off, and that's literally all that I've done, is print off some music sheets. And I'm going to cover my envelope with these. Now the reason I'm covering it is, one, it gives you something a little bit different to a plain white background, but also if you've got anything on your cover, your envelope, which is highly likely, it will cover that. Because we're using vellum, it's going to be pretty see-through. So all I'm going to do is start, and I'm going to kind of mosaic this. No, I'm not. I'm going to kind of collage it rather. Okay. So I've gone for colours that are a little bit neutral but have got a bit of warmth in them. And I'm going to start off with just some simple collage. I think I'm going to use a wet glue for this cover, or part of our cover. So I'm going to let that dry fully, and then we'll come back to that. And while that is drying, we're going to grab our original cover and we are going to Mod Podge it. I have no idea what this is going to come out like. They say that this stuff dries clear. I'm really hoping it does. So I am going to try and dry this off a little bit now, so bear with me. Okay, so that is dried nicely. And you can see you've still got those textured look and some of the imaging on that as well. So I'm going to grab my envelope again. I'm just going to cut around the edges where I was a little bit overzealous with my coverage. And I just want to fold that there as well, so that we know we've got our fold in the right place. Okay, so that's our cover, and that is going to go across here. Now I don't want to lose too much of her, so that is probably going to go roughly there, like that. I think that will be okay. It doesn't cover the full size of our envelope journal, so you can either add some washi either side or just take a bit off the bottom, which I think is what I'll do, just because I want to keep it all with the one sheet. So we've got this like that, and this is going to be covering it here. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do before I do anything else is I'm going to get one of these stylus thingies, and I'm just going to see if it lets me. It might not let me. I want to see if it will let me take out the window section here. So I can see my window section there. I'm going to grab my scissors and see if I can cut that out without causing too much damage. And then that should ideally cover that quite well. Yeah, so I'm going to add a little bit of ink around these edges here, just in case any of it shows through, which it shouldn't, but just in case, because we're going for a vintage theme. Like that. And I'm going to glue this on, but I'm going to glue it on with some Fabri-Tac. What I think I'm going to do as well is I'm just going to fold this over here and glue this down, again, just because it'll give me a little bit more kind of not separating the edges. So just pop that down like that, and I will cut off the excess. And these are extra bits on top. We're going to be distress inking around the edges anyway, so It's not going to show too much of that as a problem. So that will be our cover. Okay. Just moving some of these bits out of the way. Okay. I'm just gonna cut around these edges here now. Like that. And I'm going to distress ink around the edges with some vintage photo. The next thing I'm going to be doing is, before I do any stitching, is I'm going to be, just take that bit there. I'm going to be, I want this to be a pocket, but to be a pocket like this is going to be a bit interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my, I think this is like an identity card tab holder. And what I'm going to do is it only lets me go so far, which is okay. And I'm going to create a pocket opening. Oops, a daisy. Now I've gone past the opening on either side, if you can see that there. I think you can probably see it better there. So I've gone past the opening on either side. And I've done it above this because I want this window to stay in place. What I am going to do now, though, is I'm going to stitch around the window and this slit because I do want it to be a little bit stronger. So I'm just going to do that quickly. Okay, so I've stitched around here, the window, which has just given me, it's just adhered this nicely to that, and I've stitched around here, you can see on the slit, which has given me a little bit of extra stability in that area as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pocket on the inside that will accommodate this here. Okay, so to do that I'm going to grab some acetate, and if you don't have any acetate then don't worry about it. You really don't need to worry if you don't have any acetate. I'm just trying to work out, do I go above? Yeah, I think I do. So I'm just going to cut this here. I want the acetate to be quite big, even though the pocket itself isn't that big, just because there's no chance of anything kind of being a problem. I'm going to have to take that a bit shorter because I don't want that to be over the fold, get in the way of the fold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this acetate on. First of all, I'm gluing it on all four sides because I don't need it to be a pocket, because the pocket is already there, if you know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean. So what that means is you'll be able to put something in here because the acetate is behind there. So I've glued that on, and I'm also now going to grab some tape. And I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on there as well, just so I know 100% that it is adhered and it's not going anywhere. If you are going to add a book plate, now is the time to add that before we do anything else. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to cover the inside of this with a page from the kit. And I've actually done this so I'm going to want to cover it, and I want it to be pretty spot on. So let's just measure this up. Pencil's not working, it's always a good thing. Okay. It's better. So again, I'm just going to distress ink around this. The reason I've done it on double-sided, and you didn't need to, in fairness, because it could probably be a waste of a whole page. But because we've got that window, I wanted there to be some image behind the window. So when we pop that on there like that, we will get part of that Christmas image behind, which is what I'm looking for. So again, I'm just going to glue this in place. And then what I'm going to do is just find where that crease is. So we're comfortable with that. And I'm just going to stitch around the outside. So there is our cover. And I've stitched around the whole of the side of that. But that is our cover ready to go. So the next thing, I'm going to pop this to one side, and the next thing I want to focus on is I'm going to need some junk mail for the signatures, but I'm also going to need some for the embellishments. So I'm going to do the embellishing side first, and then I'm going to do the signatures later. So the first thing I want to do is I want to do, for the inside front cover here, I want to do a coin pocket. So I've got some papers here from the kit that I thought would look really good. And I'm going to use an envelope to do this. So I'm going to grab my envelope. Got quite a few envelopes there, just want the one. So I've got my envelope, and this is going to be a coin pocket. Just checking it's going to be the right type of envelope, and I think it will be okay. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. So this coin pocket is going to go on the inside here, so I need to first of all check that it's going to be narrow enough, and that will. And then I want to have a flap on this, obviously, for the coin pocket section. So let's start with, I'm going to cut this along the line here on the inside. And I'm going to cut up here like that. I'm going to glue this new flap that I've just created down, because that will just add again a little bit of strength. I'm going to cut across here like that, and I'm going to glue that down, because we do want all the strength we can get. And then I'm going to glue, no, I'm not going to glue that bit yet. I've put glue on there, but I don't need it just yet. What I'm going to do instead is just cut a little slither off this end piece here, which again will allow me to open up our envelope. And the reason I want to open it up is because you're going to see part of the inside. Not a huge amount, but you are going to see part of the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the inside as well as the outside on this. One, because I don't want it showing the envelope insides, and two, because again the added paper will just give it a little bit more strength. I'm using 120 GSM paper. In fact, I'm gonna pop that up there like that. And I'm going to glue it on this bit as well. Okay, so that is my bits of paper there. I am going to cut off my excess. There. There. This was our original envelope flap, which we will still be using. And this here was our original envelope fold, which again we will be using. So all we've done technically at the moment is we've covered the inside. Now, because I cut part of this top piece off, you can't see it particularly well. You can't see where the envelope stops and the paper starts, but I can see that, so I'm just going to cut those bits off again, like that, and that will give us our fold here. Now our fold we don't want specifically to be straight, so I'm going to create the same cut for both. So I'm going to cut that excess piece off there first. This is going to be the piece that folds over. So I'm going to fold that in half without creasing anything, just so I can create the same shape cut on either side, because my eyeballing is absolutely dreadful. Okay, so we've opened our envelope out. We've completely opened it. We've covered the inside. We've folded over a piece here and we've cut off so it gives us this shape here. That will then be our pocket, our pocket's flap over. I'm also going to need to cover the outside, and I've chosen some paper to do that. So I'm going to do exactly the same as I did with the inside. I'm just going to go around with some ink. Tidy up where some of that hasn't stuck. Now, I need to find out exactly where my policy closure is going to go. And I'm going to need 2 circle pieces for the policy closure. So I've got some old tags from last year that I hadn't used, and I have used them for another project this year for Christmas, so I think these should be an okay size. I'm going to cut out 2 of those and another 2 of those. And that then should give us our policy closure, which it does. I'm just going to cut that bit there because it's still showing through even though I've inked it. It's just where your paper folds. The underneath paper is pushed out, so it will sometimes cause it to kind of pop out where it shouldn't. Now, you could have used Velcro to close this if you wanted to, but I do want to use some brads, I think. So I'm going to need the brad to go through the front and the middle piece here. It doesn't matter if it goes through this back piece because you're not going to see that. So I'm just going to eyeball and say we're going to go there. So that'll give me that there, that there. I like to stick one of these on the actual card or paper, whatever you're using, and then leave the middle piece for your kind of the middle piece for where you're going to put your string. So I'm going to pop that there. I'm going to grab another one of these and hope that it fits. Does it fit? Maybe not. No, I do need a thicker one. So I'm going to pop that on there like that. That will fold like that. And then I need another piece further down here, roughly the same place. I'm going to put that there. And we're going to do exactly the same. You'd think I was organised, but not so much. And with this one, because you're not going to be able to see it, I'm just going to put some tape on there. Which will, if you put anything in the pocket, it'll stop it from catching on the brad. Like that. And then I am going to glue this one on top of that one, I think. A little bit of tidying there to do. So that'll be gluing there, and I will be gluing this possum piece down there. So that will give us our policy closure. It's a little bit, I think, offside, but I'm okay with that. And I will be attaching some string. I'll attach some string, and that will be going in there like that. Still gives us room to move. So, one policy closure. In fact, I have somewhere tags here that I'm going to be using for the project, and I've got some. This was the gold stuff that was in there, so I'll use that. Oops, a daisy, that's not going to open now, is it? Nope, that's all undone. Oh, there we go, take that off, and that's okay there. So this will then go in between the two pieces you've got. Do that up like that. This will literally just go around there to keep that closed. So, policy closure, coin pocket, and our envelope cover so far. Okay, so what's next? What is next? So next I wanted to make, again, I'm going to use one of these envelopes. You wouldn't believe what my desk looks like underneath. You can see on top, but underneath is 10 times worse. So I'm going to use one of these Junkmail envelopes again. Let's make sure it's the right size which it is. And I'm going to fold that over just there. So that'll be in quite a nice fit in there, like so. This is going to go on the back inside cover. And what we're going to do with this one is we're just going to create a simple notebook, scrapbook. So I'm just going to pop that in there, like so. I'm going to have to think about how I can do this. I'm going to take this section here off. So I've got an opening here, which is okay. That's what we need. I'm then going to grab the paper that I wanted for this. And I need a piece that's going to go inside the envelope. I'm not going to open this one up. I just need a piece of paper, 2 pieces of paper that's going to go inside of the envelope. And I'll show you what for now. There's one there. And I want this to be same size. It doesn't have to be perfect in any way, shape or form. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to glue them and they're going to pop just inside here. So that will give us, when we see this opening, it'll give us a nice image to look at rather than the inside of the envelope, if you're with me. So again, just going to pop that in there. Oh gosh, like so. You definitely need a wet glue for this. And that is going to go like that. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. Not that you're likely to see the other side quite so much, but I just don't want there to be any envelope showing. So turn it over. I'm going to do exactly the same with this side here. Okay, and what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to cut a little notch. I'll do that after, actually. I'll do the notch after. I don't need to do it just yet. So we've got inside pieces here. You're not going to see all of that, but that is there to cover the inside. And I am now going to cover the outside. So, yeah, that's going to go there like that. What I'm then going to do is, again, we've got our pocket piece here. I'm going to cut a divot out here so we can easily get into that pocket. It's a bit thick for my cutter. So tidy that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some faux vintage paper. I need to see how long it is, so that's going to be too long for what I want. It's my pen. Take that there and that there. I have no idea how many pieces of paper in here. It probably feels a bit thicker than it should. But I've just got some faux paper there, which I am going to stitch into place here. That is a bit offside. So I'm just going to quickly stitch that. My sewing machine didn't like that at all, but it probably is a bit thick. But we've got a pocket here, which I'm just going to ink around. And that pocket is on top of a notebook, and that notebook will be going on the inside of our journal. So we'll have a coin pocket on the one side and we'll have a notebook on the other side. So now for our signature pages. So let's grab our envelopes and our junk mail. So I've got a load here of envelopes and junk mail. I'm going to glue the flaps down on these envelopes here. I'm going to fold that in half, and that will be one of my signatures. I've got another one here. Now this is only going to hold so much, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an idea of how much it will hold. And I'm just going to pop that there. I'm going to make sure all of these are in here nice and tight. I've got this here now, and I am going to cut off the excess. So let's grab this. I'm gonna make sure these are really nice and tight in there. I'll get my big chunky ruler. I'm gonna line these up so that I know I've got a clean cut. I want to cut here. So it's going to be cutting tool, and I'm not going to press hard, I'm just going to be consistent. Nice and slow cuts. Until we've got our bits of junk mail cut down to size. What you'll find you have, just going to go and tidy this bit here. What you will find is that it's automatically created for you some pockets. So here we've just got a normal sheet. Here we've got a pocket here that's automatically being created because we've taken part of that off. This one here we've got an extra piece in there. This one here we've got a pocket. This one here is just normal. This one here, we gave ourselves a top pocket. This one here, it was small enough that it hasn't got any pockets at all to it. So you've got now a signature with some already built-in pockets, which make your life much easier before you start. So I am going to put these where I want them first. Some I want at the top, some I want at the bottom. I don't want everything even. I might even put that one there in the centre, and that will be our signature. So our signature is going to go in there like that. And we've also got our two pieces, so we've got our coin pocket and our notepad with an envelope that's also going to be going in. So the next thing I'm going to do, and I'm not going to make you watch, is I am going to decorate some of these signature pages. I'm not going to show you how to stitch it in, because I'm sure most of you have seen a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, which is all I'm going to use. And I could even get away with, may not use a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Don't know, we'll come back to that. But I'm not going to make you watch as I decorate all of these pieces. And so I'm just going to pause and I will come back when I'm a little bit further forward. Okay. So I am a little bit further forward. What I'm wanting to do is, for those of you who don't have or don't want to kind of go down the route of stitching in, you don't have to. There's lots of other options. One of them is that you can use elastics, which is what I do in a lot of my journals. Excuse me. And another one is that you can simply just staple it. It's that, simple. So I'm going to pin these in just because I don't want them to move, and then we're going to try and staple it to see what it looks like. Yeah, that will be interesting. So I've pushed all my papers in, and I'm literally going to lay them flat on here. I don't have one of those fangled staplers, which turns around and does all the bits and pieces. So I am literally going to, and I'm going to do 3, I think, because I don't know where my papers are lined up. And they've gone through, which is great. So all I need to do now is to push these down. So let's take this off. And that. Awesome. So I have literally just done my signatures, and all I've done on these is some of them I've covered with paper, Christmas paper. Some of them I've left because I don't want a load of Christmas paper popping all over the place. But I've created some tags with the kit that can go in here. I've stitched these in, so you've got nice little tuck spots there. Again, got another tag there. And we've got our new notebook at the back, and I'm just going to glue this in to the front. if you're going to use like a kind of brad type fastening, you need to put that on before you do this. But I'm going to use some elastic, and I think I'm going to try and get a button that will fit that. So let me have a look and see if I've got one. So I've got some red buttons. It's quite a nice size. Or there's a deeper red there. I do like that one. I'm not sure if and that one. So I suppose they would all look nice, wouldn't they? I'll probably go for that one, I think, and hope that hello you, my little my little helper has come to join me. We're fostering a guide dog, so he's by the side of me at the moment. Yeah. So I am going to use elastic for my closure. So I'm going to want something that is 2 times there at least. So I'm going to cut that there. I'm going to see if it'll fit in the button for a start. So I'm hoping it will. Yeah. So we've got one in there, and hopefully we can pop another one in here. Okay. Going to tie a knot here and see how much room we've got. Good thing with the elastic is it will let it grow a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to put another knot in that just so we know it's nice and secure. And then I'm going to cut these bits off. You could add some dangles on there if you wanted to. And literally you can either have this round there and pull it around like that as a closure, or you can have it so that it goes over here. Or you have it as a closure like that. So I am gonna now just finish off a few bits and pieces, and I'll come back hopefully with the finished piece. Okay, so I think we're done. So the prompt for this was Junkmail Repurposed. So hopefully I've met that. We've got a junk mail journal, and we've used just open that up. We've used a envelope with a window envelope as our cover, and we've collaged that with some music sheets, and we've also then put some printed vellum, and we've put some Mod Podge on top of that to seal that in. It's given it quite a dark look, but I think that's partly to do with the bits underneath. I'm not sure, I don't know, next time perhaps I might not cover the underneath so much, but that is with a beautiful piece of the kit. I've stapled in the junk mail signatures, and these signatures are literally just made of junk mail, so envelopes and other bits and pieces that have come through. I've popped a pocket where this envelope is here, and I've just created a little tag from the kit and created a little dangle on that, and that's super easy, and that's just using some old tags and some of the kit pages with the paper punch and some ribbon. So that pops in there like that, with the tag, or the dangle rather, on the outside. So that goes in there like that, and just gives you that really pretty little front piece there. Just pop it a bit more than that. There we go. I've put an eyelet here with a little snowflake charm, just to add a little bit more interest. We open it up. We have got a coin pocket, policy closure coin pocket here, that is just being glued to the inside cover. And that again was made with a repurposed envelope. Super simple to make, and yeah, quite enjoyed that. Then we've got some pages, and these are all different envelopes, different sizes, pockets from the kit with some tags. I haven't covered all of the pages because it might look a bit busy, but you could certainly cover more of the pages if you wanted to. There's some pockets, hidden pockets throughout. Some of this I left just because it was Christmas images and stuff anyway. But yeah, you know, literally can be decorated as you want. And some of these, obviously, as we cut them, they've created additional pockets here, and there's an additional pocket there as well. So lots of pockets to fill up with journal cards and what have you. And then here we have got a scrap pad or a notebook on the back, and we also did that and created a additional pocket here. Again, that was using a repurposed envelope. And for the closure, I've literally just used some elastic, some red elastic with a button, and that can either go around this way or it can go that way. But that is it. That is our repurposed junk mail journal. And as I said, you know, there's different ways of doing different things, so I haven't got to stitch everything in or use elastics for everything. You can make it nice and simple. And yeah, a really cute little journal that you could pop in your handbag and keep all of your Christmas list and your receipts and all of your bits and pieces in, or you could send some fabulous happy mail in this. That would be a really cool thing to do, or just have it as a little Christmas seasonal journal. But that is my Craft Off 2023 challenge completed. I hope you enjoyed. Love to know what you think. Please feel free to use the comments section below. And for those of you that I don't speak to, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. And for those of you who I do, I will catch you in the next video. Until then, as always, stay safe and be well. Bye for now.